Well, ahead of tomorrow's announcement, we're now reaching out to Thomas Green. He is a senior climate policy advisor at the David Suzuki Foundation. And Mr. Green, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Listen, I want to begin with your reaction to something that's often referred to as the grand bargain, because everything being reported right now on this MOU reflects this grand bargain that Ottawa essentially signals its openness to a new pipeline. And in exchange, Alberta agrees to stricter industrial carbon pricing and investment into carbon capture and storage. What's your take on that type of compromise?
Well, it's not really a grand bargain in that the federal government has the power to fix industrial carbon pricing. Alberta has deliberately weakened its carbon pricing system by enabling companies to earn a whole bunch of credits, and that's cutting. That basically undermines the price, which undercuts investments, which means companies have no incentive to clean up their act to reduce their emissions. So the federal government has the power right now under the Canadian Environmental Protection Act and under the Greenhouse Gas Pricing Pollution Act to address these issues and to strengthen methane regulations. And they're just sitting on the methane regulations. So I don't know where the bargain is, especially if it involves supporting a pipeline to the coast at a time when the world is transitioning to renewables, when markets for fossil fuels are really unknown.
Let me jump in there, though. And there's a couple of things that you already said that I want to reflect on. One is this Ottawa having the power. At the end of the day, though, rather than having two jurisdictions fighting each other, it would be essentially Alberta working alongside with Canada, the federal government, on this carbon price. Is that not better for national unity alone?
Well, I mean, what kind of national unity do we have when a province is refusing to follow the law? I mean, industrial carbon pricing, that every province in Canada has to price industrial emissions. And why is Alberta getting away with not doing that? That's part of the question. Is it a grand bargain if we are locking in another pipeline, and then we're doing carbon capture and storage, which is a technology that keeps under-delivering? It's going to be hugely subsidized by taxpayers. And we're going to be pushing a pipeline across the opposition of coastal First Nations and British Columbia. So
let me get to the opposition in a moment, but you're talking about at a time when the world is transitioning, and yes, there is a transition happening, but there is right now still very much a demand for oil and gas. There will be for decades to come, and in the meantime, this country does face the potential of recession, tougher economic times. What is the economic argument against this, given that it does give many workers in Alberta in particular hope that they are going to continue having a job?
Yeah, well, first of all, is there any private sector proponent right now with the money to invest in another pipeline to the BC coast, when the existing Trans Mountain pipeline is even not at full capacity? So right now, there is no private proponent. World markets are sitting around $60 a barrel. This doesn't pencil out. It'll take a whole bunch of federal subsidies. And what we're saying is it'd be much better to spend that money and invest in a stronger east-west electricity grid so we can put more renewable electricity on the grid. And that would allow us to provide affordable renewable power and power all the heat pumps that Canadians are adding to their homes, the EVs, the electric buses that cities' transit systems are using, and to electrify industry, which gives better efficiency and reduce costs. So just seems like a sounder economic strategy.
Except this government is not abandoning a clean energy future. They are, for example, have already shortlisted Wind West for the Major Projects Office, the hydroelectricity project in Iqaluit, small modular nuclear in Ontario. The Prime Minister talks about an east-west electricity grid. It's not as if they've abandoned that with going forward on they're okay for a pipeline if Alberta can meet the conditions.
I mean, we'd say show us the money, like the amount of resources and time and discussion being put into pipelines versus putting into the real solutions. Like another thing we should be doing is helping Canadians coast to coast retrofit their homes, make them more energy efficient, take advantage of heat pumps, put in home EV chargers and apartment building EV chargers and expand the charging network. All that kind of thing would really position the economy for the future. That's what we'd like to see more of.
Now, as you say, there's still no private proponent for this pipeline. The Liberal caucus also adds to that any pipeline will still need buy-in from the province and Indigenous leadership. Do you think Alberta or any oil company can secure that type of support?
I mean, I think you'll have companies line up to do this if the federal and provincial governments throw enough tax dollars money at them, and that would be a tragic loss. Waste of money. Like, why would we build new fossil fuel infrastructure that might be used for 5-10 years and then might just end up as this rusting snake of steel across BC mountains to the coast?
Thomas Green, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.